So I'm curious, how'd you end up working with my friend Attila, our mutual connection? How'd you end up?
I met Attila through Jesse's brother.
Yeah.
Jesse's brother. I don't know if you had an opportunity. He passed 3-4 years ago.
I don't think I did end up meeting him.
Tony and I, that's his name, Tony.
Yep.
We were real good friends. Matter of fact, I've been working with Tony for a year and a half, and he was inching closer and closer to want to do the certification for AS 9100.
Yeah.
But he would put it off till the next quarter, put it off. And Jess and I have talked, his brother and I have talked about this as well, but we're not sure if Tony was one of their first early COVID victims.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we were not all we know is that all of a sudden he was sick, he was in the hospital, and then he died.
Wow.
And that was, it was, matter of fact, it was that November before the things got to rolling, I guess,
November
in January
of 19?
It would have been November of
Yep.
19. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that's how I met.
Sounds like he could have been.
Yeah. That's how I met Attila, because they were just starting to, they were on the corner of whatever the name of that street is. And I'd go over there and work with Rex and what I want to say, I'm trying to pronounce his name. Is it not Felix? What was Dilla's first partner's name? Latif. No, not Latif.
I don't
You
know.
don't know what I'm talking about? Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay.
You're asking the wrong guy.
Okay.
I was only over there making the grinders for like 4 months.
Oh, okay. So anyway, but that was when they were in the very first facility that they started making grinders. That's where I met him, and we started doing some things. Matter of fact, I worked more with Rex than I did with Attila, because Attila's programming, that kind of stuff, and as far as putting parts together, he was trying to stay away from that. So
yeah. I mean, for those of you guys watching at home, if you've ever bought one of the grinders that we've dropped, you know that Orson played a part in making that. Orson technically has had a hand in the grinder you used to smoke your weed. So
yes,
you owe it to Orson. You owe him a thank you as well.
Because in '87, I started working at this company called Teledyne Cast, and it was an entry-level job in inspection, and I liked it, and seemed like that was it had a union, though. It had the Teamsters union. I still don't even know what that was about. You pay your dues, and what do you get? I don't know. But from that job, I'm there for about a year and a half, and there's a chance for a promotion. And even though I was a better candidate, this other guy got the job because he had a certificate showing that he had taken certain courses, non-destructive testing and statistics and different quality classes, the same ones they offered at Mount San Antonio Junior College. Well, that year I started working on that. It took me about a year and a half to get all of the different certs. But by the time I did that, I'm working at another company called El Monte Tool and Die. At El Monte Tool and Die, we made a lot. These things called practice bombs.
Okay.
And the most, the spec or requirements for the practice bomb, more or less, it had to weigh a certain amount. It couldn't be more than plus or minus a few grams, or probably plus or minus a few ounces, because the thing was a 35 or 40 pounder. Mm-hmm. And I guess the Navy used those as practice bombs when they were out in training and doing shit. And from there was when
It's a crazy thing to manufacture.
Yeah,
Making
Practice-
bombs for the Navy to go practice.
bombs for the
That's
Navy.
insane.
And these things ran nonstop. It was like, you know what I mean? And it was shaped like a small torpedo. You know, it had like three or four fins coming off the back of it. And, you know, the regular shape of a torpedo. But they weren't no bigger than that. And like I said, they weighed about 35 pounds. And that was the requirement. Dimensional didn't really matter that much, I guess. But all we had to do is check the weight every couple of hours, make sure they were. But when I was finishing up with that and with the certification, I got an offer from a company in Rancho Cucamonga called Mission Plastics. And that was a place where I was telling you about the resuscitator. Yep, I started there. Well, why don't you pull that one up, by the way? Mission Plastics.
Mission Plastics.
I started
Rancho
there
Cucamonga.
with Pat Dolphiny, the owner, in 1990
Mission Plastics.
or 91.
Let's see. These guys?
These guys right here. When
Mission
I started with
Plastics.
him, he's now over in Riverside, I believe now.
It says Ontario.
Ontario.
Yep.
Okay.
I have no idea where that is in California.
Yeah, that's the HTP, the one, the one that was above that. Oh, no, I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
they have two locations.
Okay.
One in the U.S. and one in Mexico now.
Oh, okay.
Wow, they expanded.
Yes, they did. Well, when I was working with him in Cucamonga, he had 13 when I started. When I left, he had 19 machines.
Wow.
This facility here has hundreds of machines. If they should say how many?
Yeah, I mean, and these machines are absurdly expensive.
Now, this one here is in what you would call a clean room environment. They're making some type of medical device or something that requires clean room.
I wonder if they have any more pictures here on the site. Let's see. Manufacturing. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's still a clean room.
Let's see if we
environment.
can. Yeah. There's a clean room with some people in it right there.
Right, yeah.
They all got all that. Were you having to wear equipment like that?
You have to gown up. You have to cover your hair. And yeah.
Wow.
And when you're entering the area, the first room you go through is like a blow room or something like that because it blows a burst of air to shake anything off of you. Then you go to this other room that I guess kind of removes any other things, and then you gown up in that room and you're able to go out into the floor.
What actually was your degree that you got from Cal Poly?
It was in political science.
Oh, interesting. So that's not this at all.
My whole thing in life was to become an attorney. So political science, then I was going to go to law school. But in the meantime, after I got my BA, I got married. And
That gets in the way, huh?
yeah, you got to pay bills now. You can't live that life of freeness and just go to law school. That's what I needed. Would have been a nice.
So by the time all this came around in your life, your family, you'd already started a family and everything. You started your family.
This is in '87, so I started in '87. So my second son was born. My first son and second son, they're like 8 years apart.
Yeah.
Oldest in '79, the youngest in '87. And so by this time, second kid on the way. But things were looking good because
not selling crack anymore.
I got my first management job with Mission Plastics.
Yeah.
From there, there was another one called Trademark Plastics where I went next. And
Let's look them up. Let's see if they're still around.
I'm sure Trademark is. They're probably still in Cucamonga too.
Trademark. Oh yeah, their suggested came up. Look at that, Riverside.
Oh, they moved to Riverside. Okay.
Oh, look at that picture.
Yeah.
It's a nice room right there.
Yeah. That's another clean room.
Wow. There's
the street view there. Huh?
That's a nice little park they're in there.
Okay.
So how long did you work for these guys?
I worked for Trademark for about. Matter of fact, I ended up leaving Mission Plastics to go and work for Trademark.
This is an interesting industry to be in. Like what these companies manufacture is so fascinating to me.
Almost everything.
Wow.
Almost everything.
How did you like? I mean, obviously you were trained by the companies, but like, how do you really learn how to do this kind of work? Like, what is the training? What do you?
Well, my department was inspection, quality control.
So you just learned by inspecting these things, kind of picking up over time,
right? There was one when I worked for Mission Plastics. There was a non-contact measurement system that I had.
Mhm.
I was instrumental in the company getting, and there was a stage, a glass where you could put the part, and then you can focus in on it, and it had edge detection. So when you came to the edge of the part, it would like beep. You can get another edge beep. You can get the length of it, the width, the height, all different types of measurements. Now the name of the game is CMM, coordinate measuring machines, and those are the ones that most companies use now. But yeah, a lot of it I learned on the go, or just being there, being around. Some of it, I really had a desire to learn more and more about it. That's why I know what I know now about quality management systems and setting them up. I think I should have brought my book with me, but I have a binder where I think this would have been in 2014 that I started doing consulting work while I was working for this company called Invenius in Santa Barbara. But I would go into a company, do everything they needed to have done as far as setting up forms, procedures, training, auditing to make sure the systems were doing what they're supposed to be doing. And the name of the game in AS is traceability, records traceability, records traceability. When a plane comes out of the sky, they want to know why and what can we do to make sure this doesn't happen again. And as they're going through the wreckage and they find that your part maybe be the culprit, you're going to get a visit from the FAA.
You're in some big trouble.
Right. You're in big trouble.
Have you ever seen something like that happen?
No, I've never. I've heard about it, but never actually known or seen a company where this happened. But you're going to have documented proof that you did what the requirements and specifications call for. So that's why traceability and documentation is so important. You make this widget. Did it take any outside processing? Did it need any outside special testing, radiographic testing, or penetrant inspection, or whatever, to make sure that it met the drawing and purchase order requirements? Some engineers spend a lot of time developing this, whatever it is, widget, and if you follow these steps, this widget's going to perform the way it was intended.
It's already been tested. It should be perfect.
You skip a step or shortcut something, it's not going to work right. And the main one of the things for AS9100 is airworthiness. Is it worthy of flying? Is it worthy of your children, mother, getting on that plane and going to whatever the destination is? So you learn. At least I took the sincerity of it to heart. I would never pass a faulty part than anything. Why? What's my motivation to, and besides, this would be so ironic that I get on an airplane with the faulty part that I approved. Wow. What a payback, right?
Can't have that.
Right.
Can't have that.
So it's real serious stuff. And back to, I was helping these companies set their systems up, and it would take usually about 6 months. I have them ready to go. We'll call the third-party registrar, and they'll send out an auditor, and average costs for using the registrar, depending on the size of your company, it can be anywhere from $5,000 to $35,000. The more employees, the rate goes up, and there's even a max for that. I forget, something like $250, anything over that.
Damn.
Yeah. Because the auditor has to interview so many of those employees to see if the flow down of information in their understanding is they know how to do their job and do it correctly. They know how to look for certain things. We have this one thing called FOD, or Foreign Object Detection. That's an annual training that everyone has to go through because you don't want anything in a box or being shipped that wasn't requested, such as paper clips or rocks or whatever. I've heard a story about one person shipping and receiving, opening a box up, and there was a peanut butter sandwich in it. You know,
it's a free snack, right there.
So things like that you want to have your folks looking for all the time, and it's got to be quite embarrassing for the company who sent it. I'm sure somebody got a hold of them and said, "Hey, what the fuck? You know, it's a peanut butter sandwich.
Don't send me a sandwich ever again, unless it's got ham."
So, but anyway, I would have them ready in 6 months. There's no way really to fail an audit. Maybe more time consuming, but as long as whatever discrepancy the auditor finds, you should be able to come up with a plan to mitigate or eliminate that problem. And that's the only way you would fill an audit, would be, okay, I can't answer this, or we refuse to do this. But I've had as many as 13 findings, and I've had probably plenty where there were none. But the 13 findings means probably I had a major in there too, but all I had to do was write out a plan of corrective action, what we're going to do, how we're going to monitor it.
And a major is just like a big issue in the process.
It's a big issue, and it takes more time to, more objective evidence is required for a major.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that, okay, we're going to, on this one document, we're going to now sign it and put a date, initial it and put a date to it so we'll know who the person was. Because that's a write-up. If there's documentation and someone it's not recognizable that someone at least picked it up, the initial and date indicates you've read it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's supposed to indicate. But you just sign it and date it, But so you were found, one of the findings was that you weren't properly identifying who read it, who took responsibility for that document. And you probably would have to have like 6 months of documentation showing that people on every shift, all the inspectors were now initialing and dating documents. So that's why a major would take longer, because you need more proof that you really, this is a more or less secondary to your usage. So normal tasks, you automatically do it that way. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah.